there. I was in the middle of a thought when the countdown got to 1. Hey, welcome to a brand new 5-day series that Leah and I are we're practicing in. Like, if all truth be told, we're practicing in this. It's our 5-minute de-stress with watercolor activity. Again, we're going to come to you live, or you can watch it on the replay for the next 5 days. It is currently February 6th, so you can do the math and the dates from that with the calendar. Okay, so we're going to keep this really short. Leah is laughing, and I'm just going to say, go ahead and laugh. She knows I'm nervous, and because I'm getting to be the guinea pig today, or for the next 5 days, and this is something that really punches my perfectionism pieces that still want to scream really loudly in all the things that I'm creating, and I am bound and determined to just love them, accept them, and learn to work with them. And this is one of the ways that I'm choosing to do it. I've loved watercolors for years, and I have taken zero opportunities, probably due to perfectionism, to actually understand them, to work with them, to know how to do it. And Leah is in a space where she'll tell you it's uncomfortable. I think she's totally lying, but where she just has learned the space of, let's just get comfortable with it, watch the experimentation of the process instead of being really attached to the outcome, which I can be. She's just learned to experiment with what happens on the page. And so I've agreed to be her guinea pig, to be in some discomfort with my perfectionism, and to learn to work from that space. So with that said, I'm going to turn the time over to Leah for our 5-minute de-stress with watercolor.
Oh, thank you, Jen. That was awesome. And it's been kind of interesting to watch you squirm as we were getting ready for this because I didn't realize how much it punched your buttons. But I think a lot of people are afraid of the blank page. And it's so much, watercolor has taught me so much about life, and just, it's okay to make marks, and all the marks aren't going to be beautiful, but if you give it enough time, you see how those marks all fit in the greater picture that you're making. So all you need is a watercolor page. Your watercolor page is going to have a rough side, and you can see the texture.
Leah, if they don't have a watercolor page on hand, what can they use?
Honestly, if you use something else, it's going to kind of leak through.
Cereal box?
What's that?
Cereal box?
That's for acrylic. You can use a cereal box for acrylic, not for watercolor.
I was just curious.
You can use a thicker page, but because, watercolor paper has a texture to it, so it absorbs your water and your colors. So check out the dollar store. Walmart has them, Target, all the places in their art section. So, and they're not expensive for a whole pack. I don't have my pack here. Anyways, but get it for next time, or just watch and enjoy the process. So usually 140 pound is a good starting point. Anyways, so textured side, smooth side, you want the textured side up. So we're going to put that down. You're going to need some watercolors. Anything, your kids' stuff, your whatever you find is good. It's just really about playing and experimenting, some water, and a paintbrush. And let's get started. I'm going to tilt this down.
We're at 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay. Thanks. So you're just going to, before you start, guys, you need to wet your palette. If you notice, they're all kind of wet, and that just gets the color going and moving. You can mix your own colors here like that. And today we're just going to focus on making a brick pattern. So if we look at this, I can angle that. Just pick a color. I'm going to start with orange. You can start in the middle of the page. You can start at the top of the page, wherever your little heart desires. Just follow your curiosity. If I start in the middle, what does this look like? I'm just going to do the width of my brush and kind of square it off. And that's going to be my first brick. And if you notice with the watercolors, it kind of pools in some areas. You can add some more color to it. You can leave it as is and just let it do its thing. You can wash out your brush, or you can do the same color again. I'm going to do a slightly different one, and then just lay it right beside it. Again, just the thickness of the brush, square off the ends. And to be fair, the 5 minutes is from the time we start painting. I'd like to say.
I know. I was going to say that.
Smart Alec. You can go in.
I just needed someone else to be under a little bit of stress too.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean? I have like 30 more seconds? What I just started. You're gonna lay it down?
3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Oh dang. Well, you know what? If you only had 5 minutes, you can definitely just take off and catch the replay, because I just started. I have a whole wall to do here. You know what's really neat? You can grab a color like a yellow and just pop it in a corner, and you'll see it kind of go across and change. I don't know if you can see, change that brick in its color. I'm going to mix it up with the red, maybe add some more water, and just drop it in. I'm going to be a rebel and go from the opposite end where it doesn't feel comfortable, just in case. I allow myself the opportunity to make a mistake and see how I react to it and how I'm going to remedy that mistake, quote unquote, remedy the mistake.
I may be having a small freak out at that, because my colors did not mix the same as yours, and I'm just choosing to just breathe through it, take a little deeper breath, tell myself it's okay.
Well, another thing you can do too, if you don't want to start with colors, you can just wet your brush. I'll do a row of these just underneath. You can just wet your brush and lay down the clear water. This one's kind of fun because you see how the colors move across the page and how the water distributes it. So you don't see anything yet because I don't have any color on my brush. I'm just laying down water. This is probably one of my favorite things to do, just because I like to see how the water explodes on the page. So I'm going to go with the blue and just dab her in, and then pick a corner where I see some water and just start laying it down and let it spread. And you can see how it's just a different color. Not a different color. How the water picks up the color is what I meant to say. We'll do this one. You can square it off. Now, when you said, Jen, that you were interested in watercolors, why were you interested in watercolors? What about it drew your attention?
You know, honestly, I think I don't know the answer, but the first thing that comes to my mind is it reminds me of like sunrises and sunsets, when the clouds get all kind of cotton candy-y, and there's just I don't know, just the shades and the, not necessarily textures, but textures. There's just something magical about it that's always just drawn me to it.
That's cool. So if you were to make something like a scene, what would your scene have?
Mountains
And a sunset,
trees.
maybe.
Probably.
That's cool. So see, this is still pretty wet, so I can go in with another color and just kind of dab a corner. And what it does, it gives my little brick some different texture, and that can be kind of fun. It's really just about giving yourself the space to play. And I mean, how did we have a lot of rules when we were playing? I mean, from what I remember playing as a kid, we made up a lot of rules and just kind of went with whatever, it's like, I got you, did not, and you just kept going and just see where the game takes you. It's kind of like the same idea.
So, Leah, just so you're conscious of time,
Yeah.
we're at 9:45.
9:45.
I know we're actually at probably at minute 6. So, like, what are like last minute comments or things you would like them to continue practicing on their own until tomorrow.
I would love for you guys to continue on with your pattern and just see where it leads you. And if the colors mix, be fascinated by how the water moves through it. And I would love, 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 love to see you post your picture in the comments of this stream, and we can share and see what colors you picked and how you found the experience, or what you did. You find it relaxing? Did you find it wasn't enough time? Did you find it was too much time? Anything will help us make this more catered to what serves you. So any feedback is always great feedback.
Well, and again, we're really doing this just as a way to give you a quick breather in the day, do something different. It's not meant to be super instructional, just informational, and let you maybe look at something a little bit differently and face your perfectionism monsters and start taking some of those steps.
Did you see the balloon? Did you see the balloon? Most people freak out about watercolors because they're hard to control, because if you touch the edge of it, that one color will balloon into the other, but it's just so beautiful when it does. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Jeff. I just love when that happens.
You're totally good. So also just a reminder, like if you are part of the Righteous Rebels community and you're watching this, thanks for joining us today. And if you're not, get on over to Facebook and join our Righteous Rebels community. We got a lot of good stuff going on over there. We've got some big activities that we've been working on. We had an amazing phone call this morning with one of our guides on a big river trip that we're doing for you guys, and cannot wait to bring you that information. So thanks for being with us today. We really appreciate it. And I actually am going to report that I feel mostly peaceful. And I will post my picture when we're done. I didn't allow my bricks to be as close as Leah's. So there was no touching of the paint colors, but I will get braver. I will totally be braver and be a rebel and bolder.
Yes.
But this is a start. This is a start. So Leah, any last words before I sum it up?
Oh, yes. If you're going to join us tomorrow, I want you to bring a straw to your activity, and newspaper if you're worried about paint getting in more places than you would like it to be. But a straw and your watercolors, paper, and some water, because tomorrow is going to be a fun one.
And we'll go in tomorrow and in the description and give you a reminder of what to bring tomorrow. Again, we're just going by flow. We're going by inspiration, and because it's what we're wanting to teach you to do as well. So thank you for being with us today. Thank you for those of you who have the same kind of angst that I do and your perfectionism and the thing that holds you back, and just being with me and allowing that space where I can just go, whew, and you can too. I can't wait to see your brick pictures, and we'll see you tomorrow on another edition of the 5-minute de-stress with watercolor with Leah and Jen. Until then, remember, be bold, be brave, be a rebel. We'll see you soon.